my channel Priyanka's Learn It Well. My name is Priyanka Nair and I welcome you all to yet another episode from the series of data structures and algorithm. Today in this episode I'll be covering some numericals on asymptotic analysis and the properties of asymptotic notations. If you're liking my content, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel Priyanka's Learn It Well and hit the bell icon for all the notifications from Priyanka's Learn It Well. Let's start with today's episode. Properties of notation. The asymptotic notations have different properties like transitivity, reflexivity, symmetry, and transpose symmetry. Talking one by one. If f of n is equals to theta of gn and g of n is theta of h of n, it implies that fn is equal to theta of hn. So it is this particular property is valid for big O as well as omega. Coming to the reflexivity, f of n is equals to theta of fn, that is, it is having a bound over itself, that is valid for big O and omega as well. Coming to symmetry, if f of n is equals to theta of gn, that means f of n will hold theta on gn if and only if the g of n is theta of fn. Transpose symmetry, f of n is equals to big O of gn if and only if the gn holds big omega on fn. So these are the four notations, these are the four properties of notation held by the asymptotic notations. There are various important logarithm and summation formulae when we are working with analysis of algorithms. Few are listed on this slide. Let's say log of x to the power y can also be written as y of log x. Log xy can be written as log x plus log y, and so on. So there are few formulae that I have listed for the logarithm functions. We have similar functions for the summations. For example, there is arithmetic series, geometric series, and harmonic series. So if we find any relation or any sequence coming up with the algorithm, we can generalize that sequence with the formula for arithmetic as well as geometric and harmonic. We will now calculate the complexities of various functions given in the slides. The first code snippet is described as we have a function a and there are certain statements and there is a while loop with a condition s is less than or equal to n. So first let's understand the relation of s that exists. So we have s relationship existing as s of I is equals to s of I minus 1 plus 1, where the value of I is increasing by 1 for each iteration, and here you can see that s is increasing with a factor of I instead of 1. Now the value contained in the s at the ith iteration. So let's consider at the ith iteration, and the value that is contained in the s is the sum of first I positive integers. So if k is the total number of iteration, if we consider this as the total number of iterations, we can say that the while loop terminates. So this particular while loop terminates when the condition is 1 plus 2 plus to the till k, and this is, if you can see here, that this is a series, an arithmetic series that can be generalized as k plus 1 by 2, and this is greater than n. So we have seen the asymptotic relation, how the fn is related to c of gn. So when we have this formula, we get the value as k square plus k by 2 if we open this formula, and greater than n. So if I need to equate both the sides, I can say that k is greater than under root of n. So if we can discard the lower order and if we can get this, so we get an order of root of n. So for this particular function, we have the complexity as O of root n. The next problem is where we are given a function and we are given an integer I, and there is a count 0, and we have a loop here for I is equals to 1. And the thing to be noticed here is the condition given is I square is less than or equal to n, and we have already seen how to calculate the complexity for loops. So this loop will iterate for n by 2 times. Why n by 2 times? Because I square is less than or equal to n, so we can say that I is less than or equal to n by so under root of n. And this statement would be executing for root n times. Therefore the complexity of this particular code is o root n. In this code we can see that there are three loops that are given, and we have to calculate the complexity for this code pertaining to the three loops that are given. We'll start from the innermost statement. So the count plus plus will be having a constant time. However, for this innermost loop we can say that this particular loop will work till log of n. Why we have considered this as log of n? In the previous episode we saw that an algorithm is O of log n if it takes a constant time to cut the problem size by a fraction, either in half or in a multiple of 2. So you can see here that this is cutting the problem into in the multiple of 2, and hence we can say that this particular loop will be having a complexity of log n. This loop, it is very clear that this is less than or equal to n by 2, so this will run for n by 2 iterations, and this again will be working for n by 2 iterations. So if we calculate the complexity, so for this we'll get n by 2 into n by 2 into log n. So, or we can say n square by 4 log n, and we'll discard this part, and so the complexity that we get for this particular problem is O of n square log of n. This is another similar code that we have, again having three loops. So in this particular the count is having a constant. This loop, that is for k is equals to 1, k is less than equal to 2, we can say that here it is again cutting the problem in a multiple of 2, so it will be having a complexity of log n. Now here again for the j part, you can see that j is equals to 1, either though it is running till n, it is having a multiple of 2, so we can say that j into 2 is given, so this will also be having a complexity of log n. The I loop, we can say that it is starting from n by 2, and it iterates through n. So we can say that the complexity of this, the running time of this for loop is n by 2, and this is a constant. So when we'll calculate the total complexity, we get the value as n by 2 into log of n into log of n, or we can say the complexity is O of n log square n. Taking the last problem, we can see here that we have a code with a condition if n equals to 1, we have to return, and then there are two loops that we are having. For this loop, it is very clear that this will be having n iterations starting from 1 to n. The running time for this loop is n. However, if you look at this particular loop, the contents of this loop says that we need to print f and then break. So after working for one loop, so this, even though it is written as n, it will only work for one iteration, one time, because it is break, we are using a code break for this for loop. So we have a complexity, the running time as 1, and when we calculate the total complexity, we get the value as the O of n. In this similar way, we can calculate the complexities of different algorithms, taking the running time for the loops and testing the conditions for the logarithm or the number of iteration a particular statements or a particular statement or a set of statements is running for. That is all from today's episode. We have already seen the properties, the formulae, the very important formulas of logarithm and the series. We took certain examples to solve and see how we can analyze the algorithm with loops, nested loops, or cutting the problem into a fraction or in a multiple of 2 with log of n.